Hello everyone, how are you today? Welcome to From the Heart Friday, session 138 with me, Jessica Brigden of Just Be Creative Cardiology. Hello, hello, happy Friday to you. So I am on an ocean kick. I think I'm wishing I were at the beach and put my bronzer on so I have some sun-kissed cheeks. But yeah, so I am continuing with this theme again Friday. I know last week David joined me and we made some fun Ocean Waves shaker cards, and so I wanted to show you some of the cards that I had actually previously made, never got a chance to show, and I think you'll like them. Again, these are going to use the Waves of the Ocean Designer Series paper. This is while supplies last, and we are using the Waves of Inspiration bundle, the stamp set and the dies. Now this bundle will actually carry over. This will be in the new catalog, but it's an early release, so it's something that everybody can get now, which is exciting. And we will be using my favorite colors, Coastal Cabana. We'll be using a little bit of Bermuda Bay. I've got some Night of Navy, and I think you're going to enjoy these. So let me flip the camera and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so here we go. All right, and you can see my April host code. We do have about a week and a half left of April here. So if you'd like to sneak in an order here for the Waves of Inspiration bundle, the stamp set. If you hear some noise, my neighbor has decided to roll his lawn, and of course he had to do that right when I go live. Otherwise, he's a very good neighbor. But yeah, so the Waves of Inspiration bundle and the Waves of the Ocean Designer Series paper here with all these beautiful colors. And while the foil paper and the gems have sold out, I am going to be using the Ombre Glimmer paper. This is on sale in the current annual catalog. It is called Ombre Specialty Paper, and it has a couple sheets. You get the Night of Navy. You get some, I'll show you, Night of Navy, you get some Poppy Parade, some Crushed Curry, you get Gorgeous Grape in here. So fun colors, all right, and you can see the ombre effect. So it does go from light to dark, and it's all got that fun iridescent sparkle in it. So well, it might not be the navy and the Bermuda Bay foil, but fun nonetheless, and I think it'll make some great waves today. And we'll also be using this fun ribbon. This is the metallic mesh, and it's really cool. To me, it reminds me of like ocean spray, so that's a fun thing in there too. Okay, so for our first card, of course, some gorgeous Coastal Cabana, a half sheet here of 5.5 by 8.5. And we're going to just go ahead and fold that. So this is going to be pretty clean and simple. We are going to add a layer of Night of Navy, and we're going to do a little something with our metallic ribbon. So we can actually go ahead and glue these flat to start with, and then we'll do our ribbon technique. Okay, so I did go ahead and cut this actually a 1/2 inch smaller. I wanted a little bit more of that Coastal Cabana border peeking through, and so this layer is 3 3/4 by 5. All right, and then we've got our ocean waves. Now I use this pattern because it's a little bit lighter. The back side has got some really nice dark blue swirls, but this side is a little more pool party with some fun Pacific Point and navy running through it. And for what I want to do, I'm going to pull in the Pelican here as well. I think this will be a good place for the Pelican to stand and take up a little bit of that white space. So this is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Hello, Sue. Welcome. Thank you for joining. How are you this afternoon? All right, so we'll go ahead and stick this on right there. All right, I will be trying to look for comments there. And there we go. Okay, so next we are going to do our little Pelican technique. So for this I just need a scrap of basic white, and I'm going to do a soft suede for my Pelican. So we will go ahead and ink this right up. All right, and we're gonna stamp this right on our scrap. And it comes out really nice. Look at the detail in that stamped image, really pretty. Hi Kristen, how are you? All right, so we stamped our Pelican in soft suede, and then we will use our Pelican die cut. And for this card, I also want to use the larger label, and I particularly like this one because the ends are perfect to weave your ribbon through. Hi Brenton, how are things down under? Good morning to you. All right, so what we would do on our scrap here of white is we'd line this right up on our Pelican, and then you can go ahead and die cut your label at the same time. All right, so we run that through, and then voila, we have our die cut Pelican and our label. Okay, so first thing we're going to do actually is stamp our sentiment on our label. And so for this one, I think I'm going to use Your Strength as an inspiration, and we'll stamp that in some Night of Navy ink. All right, so just a really nice sentiment here. Get all the little dust off of my label. This fits on here perfectly, and I'm using that little bottom row of stitching as my guide. All right, so that comes out real nice. Now, here's the fun part with our ocean wave ribbon. We're gonna gather it here together, and then we're going to weave it through one end across the back, and then poke it up through the other side here. All right, so make sure your ribbon is not twisted too much. It is gathered, but you want to be able to make sure it's not completely twisted. All right, so we only need about 1.5 inches, 2 inches maybe, sticking out of each side, and we'll trim that off. It does help to have a nice, good, sharp pair of shears. All right, so we're gonna pull that nice and tight, and we're gonna get our dimensionals ready. So I like to use my fingers here to kind of spread this apart, and we're going to put a couple of dimensionals on here. Again, if you're just joining, I'm sorry about the noise. It's my lovely neighbor mowing his lawn. All right, so we're using those dimensionals. I am using a few more than usual, and I'm scattering them across the back here so that they will help hold that ribbon in place. I don't want it pulling through. I want it just stuck right there on the back, and that way I can do the fun technique and have it spread out and whimsical like our ocean spray on the ends. Okay, so we'll grab this. Hi Luann, how are you this afternoon? Glad you made it. All right, so we are using our metallic mesh ribbon here. It's the ocean spray on our card. Then I'm gonna unravel those ends a little bit, kind of spread this out. It almost looks a little bit like fishnet too, which is kind of cool, which goes with our Pelican theme as well. So I'm manipulating this ribbon a little bit. It is metallic, so the fibers are a little bit bendy. All right, and you can kind of spread it however you like. I think I'm gonna spread that a little bit more and put some dimensionals here on the back of my Pelican. Let's use a skinny piece up by his body there. Okay, so we'll take that. All right, hold this where you want it, and then we're going to stick the Pelican here along the side. So the Pelican also helps hold that fishnet side a little bit. Let me straighten that out. He's a little crooked. Okay. All right. Isn't that cool? Right there along the side. I just think that's the neatest ribbon for this card. And yes, I love this Pelican too, Luann. But I love anything ocean themed. Actually, one of the reasons I like Pelicans is David and I like to visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We actually have a little beach condo down there. And one of my favorite things, we're on a high floor. We're on the 15th floor of the building. And it's the neatest thing in the summertime to be sitting out on the balcony and watch the pelicans fly by at eye level. It really is cool. Pelicans are so neat. Of course, you know, it's neat to watch them dive into the ocean and catch fish too, but I just love seeing them fly by. They seem to travel in little family groups, it's just so awesome. So yes, I'm partial, of course, to anything beach, and the pelicans there too. All right, so we are going to decorate our card. We need just a little bit of bling. I am going to tease you and use my Ocean Waves rhinestones because I did order early and I do have some left. Unfortunately, these did sell out along with the foil paper. So what I would recommend in place of that, if you wanted to you know, still kind of go with a similar effect, is you can still get the holiday rhinestone basic jewels from the annual catalog, and these also have Night of Navy and Pool Party in there. So you don't get all of the shades of blue and green, but you do get navy, Pool Party, and then I think this is shaded spruce, kind of a garden green theme. So it's close. The other option would be, I'm going through my little bin here, and we had some of the blue. Here we go. These are the blue adhesive backed gems. These are faceted and come in 2 different tones of blue. These are also in the current annual catalog. All right, so there's a couple options for you in place of those gorgeous wave jewels. All right, but we're gonna take just a couple of these, and let's see here. Let's go with I'm gonna use the Coastal Cabana color here. And we're gonna stick these right down here on our base. So let's see. Let's stick a little one up here on our sentiment, and then we can even put one. Oh, let's go with a medium size in the darker blue. We'll kind of put that up by his head. It'll draw a little bit of attention up there. All right, so that is our Pelican card. Love this. Isn't that so fun? And again, this ribbon, I'm so glad this metallic mesh ribbon is carrying over, but it really is the coolest thing. It comes in a 10-yard spool. And this, honestly, I think one spool will last you probably a lifetime because I have made at least 20 something of these cards. And I've used it on some other projects too, and I still have almost a full spool left. So yeah, one little, I think it's like $8 spool of the ribbon will last you a good long time. That's a great value. Hi Janelle. Hi Carolyn. I hope you're feeling better. So nice to have you guys pop in and join me. So there is our first Ocean Waves card. For the second one, I'm going to use the other half of that Coastal Cabana sheet here. So again, 5.5 by 8.5, and fold that there at the 4 1/4. All right, so I think I'm also going to use, well, I'm torn. I had cut a layer of Bermuda Bay for this one to 4 by 5. I think I'm going to use the Bermuda Bay instead of the navy on this one. All right, so again, we're gluing everything flat to start. We're letting the paper really be the feature here. So this time I would go with just 1/4 inch. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. All right, it's a smaller border than we used on the first card. Hi Alice in Indiana, welcome. We are escaping to the beach again this Friday. At least we are taking a card making trip to the beach. Okay, then we have a layer of basic white. And I'm not going to glue this down quite yet. I want to do my stamping first, just in case I kind of over stamp a little bit. Actually, that's a good reason to bring in just a little scrap of chipboard, something to protect your work surface. And this time I'm going to use the Waves stamp here. The detail in this is really neat. And we are going to stamp this in Bermuda Bay. All right, so I'm going to ink this directly to the stamp because it's much easier to have your large stamp sitting on the table than it is to try to hold it in your hand and ink it that way. So this way you can see exactly where all your ink is showing. Thank you for sharing, Alice. Yes, I really appreciate that. Be sure to share this with your friends and your crafting communities. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube, be sure to give me a thumbs up and like and subscribe and all of that good stuff too. All right, so this is the F block. This is Stampin' Up's largest block. I find this is the easiest one. It's the right length for this stamp. And I just want to make sure I get nice even pressure. Your Stamparatus would be great with this as well. Especially if you don't want to have to worry about having big blocks and everything. But, oh, that's so pretty. Gorgeous. Just as is. Okay, so now that we've got that stamped, we are going to apply our adhesive and stick this to our card base. All right, Leah, I did overstamp just a little bit. All right, Luann's asking for a show of hands. How many here buy the blender pens? Oh, yes. So she's talking about the Stampin' Blends. If you use Stampin' Blends, the alcohol markers, then you can make your own shades of rhinestones and all of our various colors. Thank you, Luann. That is a great idea too if you're missing some of the different colors. So what you would do, this is actually dark Bermuda Bay. Use your large brush tip here and you would color your blend. Keep them on the sheet here. Color the blend. Let it set for a moment to dry. And then you can pick that up. You can have blends. You can have rhinestones and all of our blend colors. Absolutely. So that's another great improvisation there to make up for our rhinestone waves jewels there. Just make your own. Very good tip. Thank you. All right. Brenton says he does that too. Wonderful. Hi, Diana. Hello, everybody. Okay, so we've got our stamping on here. Now we're going to add some ocean layers. And we've got a couple of ocean dyes. We've got this one, and the way to tell the difference here, this one has 3 points on the wave. And the second one has 2. All right, so there's 2 different shapes here. This one also has the squared off end, and this one is round. So I like to do the squared off end, excuse me here, as my first layer, as my base layer. And I have used Coastal Cabana with this. What I did was I took some Coastal Cabana cardstock and I applied our adhesive sheets to the back. Okay, so your adhesive sheets are 6" by 12". You get 12 sheets. Again, a pack of adhesive sheets will last you a good long time. And what you do for something like this, I cut my cardstock to 6 by 11. So I did trim the end here off of my adhesive sheet and peel it off and stick it on here. The other thing you can do, and I'll show you this on the next card, is you can cut your adhesive sheet right down to size for smaller pieces too. So apply your adhesive sheet to your cardstock first and then die cut it. And that way when you die cut it, you've already got the adhesive on there and you don't have to mess with trying to put itty bitty glue and have a sticky mess everywhere. All right, so I'm gonna just run my die brush out over this just to pop out the pieces. All right, look how nicely they cut out. So you can save those for something if you want. They do have adhesive on them. All right, so here we go, nice and clean. And then, all right, so we're gonna find out, I do have a little bit of a split here, so I'm gonna peel the one section off first. Just go slowly. That helps pull out any little pieces too. And then come in here with your second piece. And yes, so if you have difficulty with your hands, with mobility of your hands, then okay, Luann's making, I'm trying to read a couple of the comments to see more. Oh, so that's why she likes to use a different color, the blends with the embellishments. But that's another thing too, that this is nice to use the adhesive sheet, and then you don't have to mess with liquid glue. So that's another thing if you have some mobility issues with your hands, is not having to worry about liquid glue. Okay, so now we're gonna line this right up across the bottom of our card. I've noticed with the adhesive sheets, you do have a little bit of time, like it's not a fast stick immediately, so you do have a little bit of time to pick up and reposition to start with here if you're not quite getting it just how you want it. The other thing with lining this up here at the bottom is it helps if you notice I had a little bit of a gap between my stamped image and the bottom of the white, and so that makes it nice. You can fill that in here with the die, so that layers really nicely here over the wave, which is cool. Okay, so Janelle says she understood what we're talking about. Okay, good. Okay, so now we're going to come in with our contrasting layer, and this is where I'm using that Ombre Glimmer paper here. Like I said, this is in the annual catalog. It's retiring. I think it's 40% off, which is pretty cool. And so I'm using the lighter end because I wanted, again, that to be the part of the wave. So this is what did I cut this at? 2.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And I cut my adhesive sheets down as well. So for this, you just peel off the adhesive pieces, place it on there, stick it good, and then come in here again with the other one, line that right up. All right, stick it good, and then you're ready to run your die through with it, which is what I did here. You can see the adhesive sheet stuck there on the back. So again, we use a die. This is the older die brush. The new one, the die brush head fits right on your take your pick tool. But since I have two, and this one still works, then this is the one I just have handy at the moment. Again, save those pieces. You could do some cool things with those. All right, aren't these neat? It could pop out. The glimmer paper is just a little bit thicker, so you might need to help it out just a little bit. But the nice thing is it's not going to tear because it's thicker. Okay. All right, so now we're going to remove the adhesive portion. All right, just let it do its thing here. Perfect. Okay, I've got one little piece up here at the top that needs to pop out. All right. And then we'll take this. I'm going to start with the bottom corners again, right on top of my Coastal Cabana. Okay, and then press it down as you go. Again, it is a bit repositionable to start with. Oh my goodness, how cool is that? Check out the sparkle. Isn't that neat? Yes. Oh, Luann says yes. Gotta love products with a little wiggle room. So yes, the adhesive sheets are perfect for very intricate die cuts like these ocean waves dies, and the wiggle room is really handy. But doesn't that look so nice? Ah, very realistic looking wave there. Okay, so we're gonna come in with another sentiment. This time, since we're doing a wave, we'll pretend it's like surfing. So we're gonna go totally awesome with this one. And again, I'm gonna use some I'm gonna come up with Night of Navy on this one, maybe pick up some of the tones from the wave there. I'll stamp this right down here. Yes. Oh, Janelle's is very pretty ocean. Thank you. So fun. All right, the only thing I didn't die cut were a couple of the birds to go on there. Actually, you know what? There's a little baby bird stamp. Let me see. I must have a tiny block here somewhere. Yes. All right. I just need to peel something else off it. All right. So this is the A block, tiny baby block. Let's do our Night of Navy, and then we can stamp our birds flying. So gently stamp this. I'm not having David do this one. It would be totally covered in ink. Just a gentle tap, tap, and then you can stamp very gently. We'll pretend these are of our Pelican family flying off into the distance. Okay, very gently. Hi, Carmen. Yes, I was so glad you love the sparkle of the wave there. Isn't that pretty? All right, and then we need just a little bit of bling here as well. So bring in my my Ocean Waves jewels back in. Again, if you're just joining us, Luann made a nice recommendation that in place of the rhinestone waves jewels here, if you don't have these, you could also use our regular rhinestones and color them with your Stampin' blends to make custom colors and whatever you need there. Let's see here. Let's come in. Okay, we'll just kind of do some fun colors here and there. And then we could even do one up by the birds as well. Just something fun. It's the ocean spray. It's those water particles traveling through the sky there. But there you have it. A couple of gorgeous ocean wave beach themed cards here. We've showcased our Pelican, and we've got some gorgeous sparkly waves here with our Ombre specialty glimmer paper there. We've used our metallic mesh ribbon, really cool for fishnet and wave sparkle there. And I hope you really enjoyed these. Again, the designer series paper is currently available while supplies last. They had said through the month of April. So if we have extra, I don't know if that means it will carry into the month of May or not. But if you love these papers, then make sure you snag a pack here before it's too late. And you can also get your early release of the Waves of Inspiration stamp set. And then we have the dies here that go with that as well. Let me tuck these back in. Of course, you've got some extra dies. You've got the clouds and things like that, and even the labels here. Okay, there we go. I got some extra die cuts. I saved these little pieces because check this out. This is a piece I had started. Haven't finished it yet, but because I've been using the adhesive sheets, all these little pieces, and you can kind of build your own wave like that by you put on that outline, and then you can put in the cool pieces to fill in the spaces for a contrast. Really, really cool. So lots of possibilities here with our Ocean Waves collection. And I appreciate you joining me here on this Friday, Spring Friday here. And I hope you have a great afternoon. And I look forward to stamping with you again next week. So be sure to like, share, thumbs up, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.